Question over here, Kate.
Kevin, could you assess Kyle Allen's day and maybe what led to the 3 pick sixes?
I'll have to watch the video, obviously. We weren't very good at that position today. We had 3 pick sixes. It's virtually impossible to win. They're giving away 21 points and, four interceptions total out of the group. Whatever the offense you're running, it's hard to win when you play that way. Obviously both those guys have been playing well up until today. So I got to go back and look at the video. The bottom line is that's a good football team, Alabama. But also, you can't play the way we did tonight by giving away 21 points against a quality football team and expect to win.
To the back, Daryl.
Coach, I guess the most shocking part of it is that you guys were so good in the turnover department in the 2 games leading up to this.
Yep, and so were they in the takeaway department. So I guess something gave tonight. They flew around and they played very well. And we as I said, when you play a quality football team like that, like Alabama, particularly defensively, your mistakes are amplified, and they were tonight. Instead of just balls being on the ground, they're returned for touchdowns. And you look at the game, and that's 21 points right there. So statistically, you know what the numbers are. But like I said, Alabama had a lot to do with that, with how we played. I think defensively, against our offense, I thought. The second half, as I just heard, we had an opportunity there with a block punt, and they drove the ball, and we were in the thing, and then just for whatever reason couldn't get the ball in the end zone, and then gave them another 7 points. So I thought that our defense in the second half, shored some things up a lot differently than the first half, as far as the total defense and running game, and gave us an opportunity with special teams and our defense to have a chance to. It was a 1-score game, but ultimately you can't spot somebody that many points, and not a team like that.
We'll go Rich and then Brian right behind you.
How much can you put anything on the running game for what happened with the interceptions, the fact that you're unable to run?
Yeah, well, I thought that the game, you look at it statistically right now, that's one way. But the game got into a point where we had to throw it to get back in it. Does that make sense? They went just the opposite of how we wanted it to go. So they got ahead. And, we actually at times were able to get some yards running the ball, but nobody really has been able to consistently do that against them. But the combination of two things, our inability numbers-wise, statistically, but also the situation was one that we were trying to get back in the game. And when you do that, you think as a coach, that that's what we do. We're comfortable doing that, but Alabama was able to take that away and not only force turnovers, but score points off of them.
Go right side, Brian.
Kevin, is a game like this kind of a reminder about how slim the margin of error is for this in this conference, especially against a team that good, that you guys were that close with, but.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was touching on. I think our guys, mistakes against quality teams like that are amplified, and it's not just a tip ball or oops, the guy dropped it. He caught it, and they caught 3 of them and ran them back for 21 points. So that's there's a lot of lessons to be learned there for players and coaches alike. But that's the nature of very, very talented, well-coached teams like Alabama. And, we had opportunities in the third and fourth quarter that the game wasn't getting away from us. It was a one score, 11 point, right in that area for the majority of the second half, and even with everything that had happened up to that point. So, at halftime, believe it or not, we actually felt halfway decent. I think our guys played with that kind of energy coming out in the third quarter, saying, hey, look, we haven't played very well. Here's the score of the game. If we can execute here and we get this shored up, we can win this game. I think, you just heard AJ say that was the feeling coming out. And that's why, I was actually pleased with how our guys approached the second half, the third quarter. And you look up and you get into the fourth quarter and they go on that long, 6-minute drive, something like that.
Yes.
And hold them to a field goal even still, and, you still got a chance. So, there are not a whole lot of positives when you lose, but I think the positives that come out of this were that I thought our defense played hard the whole game. And I thought we had some guys that were trying up until the end. And, I didn't see that last year in this game. And the score is different, but, it's still a loss. And so, the video becomes important. We're going to do a better job as coaches. Like I said, I got to look at the video to see what was going on. But certainly, you got to give Alabama credit. And like I said, that's a good team.
We'll go Brent, and then down front here.
How would you assess your defense's play against Derrick Henry, in particular in the adjustments you made as the game wore on?
Well, I thought, he got loose in that long run in the first half. He's a man. We said that coming into the game. What did he get, 55 there? What was it, 50, 60, something like that? And I thought it was really a tale of two halves. I thought our defense in the second half, even though maybe their style may have changed a little bit too, but I thought that our second half defense gave us an opportunity throughout the majority of the half to have a chance to tie the game or be right there. And, so I don't know, what they get in the second half, 150 yards?
About 150, 140 something.
Yeah. So, that there were some adjustments made. We had some negative yardage plays. We had, some special teams plays we made and to really help us stay in the game. So, adjustment-wise, obviously, we did some things at halftime and helped us with the score of the game. Their defense held them to 20. They had 21 points in interception returns. So, you look at that, and if your defense can hold them to 20 and we scored 23, it's a different game. But that's not the case. So, it all works together, offense, defense, and special teams. And like I said, Brent, we can't play that way against that quality of an opponent.
Coach, to a man, all the players that have came in earlier had spoke to the maturity aspect of turning the page and
Right.
getting this game behind them. Just speak to the remainder of the season. All the goals for the team are still on the table.
That's right.
How do you motivate the guys toward flipping the page and going out there and grabbing the remainder of the game?
Max, I'm glad you said that, because that meant that they were listening in the locker room. That's step one. And my message was pretty simple. Yeah, we're all disappointed. Yeah, we could have played better. But, that's a good football team we lost to. We need to learn from that. I think, like you said, you brought it up about mistakes being amplified. This is really the first time that this has happened, from a locker room standpoint. And, here's where the maturity aspect comes into play. And here's where real inner leadership of the team comes into play. We still have all our goals ahead of us. And my message was pretty simple. Yeah, that was we got beat today, but right now in the West, we're tied with them, and we've got to go on the road next week. And what we have to do as a team is acknowledge what has happened tonight. All right, be truthful with where we are as a team and what we can get better, and get it fixed, and then lean on each other. And Monday, put that away and let's go to the second half of the season.
Go to the back, Lee Benson.
At the start of the press conference, you mentioned that's virtually impossible to win games like that where there's 3 pick sixes and there's turnovers, and then you said that the defense played really hard. And do you feel for the defensive unit because they played so hard, but they were put in that tough position on different occasions?
It's a team game. You know, you're going to have games where, you know, maybe that's not the case for the defense, and the offense is going, and guys are scoring the other way. So, you know, that is all part of football. And it happens with special teams. You know, you games like this, you try to manufacture points any way you can. I thought, you know, our special teams were again, above average. I mean, we were excellent, you know, with a blocked punt, you know, a return for a touchdown, almost got a field goal. I thought they covered pretty well and created some situations there. It was a physical game. And like I said, you know, all is not – there are not a lot of positives, but there are a few things out of there that we can take away and build on for the second half.
Brent, you'll wrap us up.
What do you say to Kyle and even Kyler with
Yeah.
the game he had in terms of kind of keeping their heads up moving forward?
It's all part of the position. I tell those guys we recruit them, and you know, the first meeting, you know, it said you got to understand playing quarterback is just like being the head coach. You know, you get way too much credit when you win, and you get most of the blame when you lose, and that's part of playing that position, and that's part of how we handle that position. And if you're up front with that the first day, you understand that. You know, you've got to take the pats on the back with the slap in the face. And you know, today was kind of a slap in the face. And you know, you can't play that position without any confidence. And so, you know, for him to go back in there and throw a touchdown and really give us an opportunity. The fourth quarter right there was big. You know, we got to assess where it is. Like I said, I got to watch the video and see what was going on. You know, because we had some guys that were open at times, and we had some drop balls. We had some tip balls too. You know, so like I said, that's a something that we'll assess moving forward, and you know, those are our guys, and you know, we're going to get better. We're going to coach them, and we'll be ready to go when next week in Oxford.
All right, Coach,
All
thanks.
right. Thank you, guys.